Hello, so in this video, we're going to walk through if you missed Zoom class today on August 26th, what you missed. So the first thing you need to do is go on to slusd.schoology.com. Go ahead and open up your medical chemistry course, whether it be period 5 or period 1 or any other period. Right, this is the page it should look like in front, and you're going to scroll down to Wednesday class materials. And we're going to start off by opening the slides, or you can get to the slides from the class links. All right, so go ahead and open those slides, or you can just watch this video to follow along. All right. Okay, so our goal for today is to learn about how density works and how we use density in science to identify something called osteoporosis or weak bones. Right. So a couple of announcements. One is the virtual medical internships are still available. So they're located on Schoology, that first link that says internships. And if you want to do the optional lab where you collect dust particles from the outside, this is the setup. I would set it up today at the latest, and then we're going to talk about it on Friday. Also, I have updated your grades, most of your grades. So on the slides linked here on osteoporosis slides, there should be a video embedded for you, or you can also get to the slides by clicking on click here for slides under today's folder, August 26th, Zoom class links. All right. So on this video, I basically show you what your grade means, how to look at your grade, and then what the different icons mean, and what can you do if you have a missing or incomplete assignment. Right? So here's also the link to your launch. If you missed today, go ahead and complete that as well. This one is just a survey, so it's totally fine if you get it wrong. It's just an opinion question. All right. So mainly today, during the Zoom class, we looked at a couple of bone samples through the camera, and your job was to tell me what you noticed in terms of what it feels like, what you see, and any questions you had. If you have trypophobia or fear of small holes, at this point, it might give you that kind of eerie feeling because when you look at the inside of a bone, it looks like this. Right, so I had 2 bone samples that I showed in class, and this one is a bit weaker because the holes are kind of bigger, right? And if you notice, it's more similar to the ones on the right here of the screen, right? So this bone is showing signs of osteoporosis, while this one is not. So you'll notice that the holes up here are much smaller as opposed to this bone, especially when you get to this area, it's much larger, right? So you could probably guess which ones are stronger, right? So the healthy bones are the ones further to the left, and then the weaker bones are the ones further to the right. All right. Something you might not have noticed on these 2 bone structures is that here, the outside layer of your bone is called a compact bone. So in a healthy bone, it's extremely thick. Although if you have osteoporosis, your compact bone is going to be much thinner. So looking at this one, the edge is barely there, right? It's like right here. Okay, so that gave us some brief overview of what it looks like in terms of the inside of your bone. These are not humans, these are cow bones, right? But same idea. Then I showed a video on Gordon Hayward to talk about why this matters. So even if you don't have osteoporosis, if you tend to fracture your bones a lot for whatever reason, right? And if they don't heal properly, you can also have issues with bone fractures as well, right? Then we started talking about homework and the asynchronous work for this class, right? So these links are found on Schoology. So go ahead and go back to Schoology, and then you're going to select Homework Topic 1 Scientific Measurements, Lesson 1.3 to Lesson 1.5. And if you click on it, it will look like this. So on here, there are 3 topics that you're going to go over on your own. And if you have any questions, feel free to email me. Right. So lesson 1.3 is all about osteoporosis. So why do some people end up with bones with larger porous holes like this? And what can you do about it? Right. And then lesson 1.4 is how we measure density. Lesson 1.5 is how we use that density to figure out who has osteoporosis and why. Right. And then a reminder that when you click on this setup is the same as when we did lesson 1.1 to lesson 1.2. So this is the title of your notes, the key ideas, so what you should take notes on as you're clicking through the slides or watching the videos or completing the activity, right? To actually do those things, the link is on Nearpod. And this is your estimated time. If you don't know how to set up your notebook, or if you don't have a notebook or you just got one, right, I made a video here to remind you of how I would like you to set up your notebook for this class. If you have your own preferred way that you know definitely works for you, your notebook method has allowed you to ace every single class, feel free to use your notebook method. And if Nearpod is a bit laggy for you, like it tends to kick you off because it's taking too much processing power from your device, know that you can also go down here where it says link to slides to review lesson. If you copy that and then paste it, it should get you to the slides that are on Nearpod. The only thing that's missing is the actual like check for understanding questions, right? So these are the same slides that you would see on Nearpod, but it might be less laggy because Google Slides takes less processing power, right? So when you get to the slides, a reminder that directions are in blue of what to do, and then red is information that you need to know, right? And for these ones, these are the Nearpod parts. So on the slide before, I'll also give you the links to them, right? So you can click on these links instead of going to Nearpod to get to it. It's the same thing, right? All right, so that was it for August 26th, Wednesday.